Amish have several ways of keeping their food cool. This will depend, of course, on the group, like with a lot of other things, and what's allowed in a given church. The first way Amish keep food cool is simply by using a refrigerator. But this is not the type of refrigerator that you plug into the wall. These refrigerators look like your standard, home refrigerator, but they're powered typically by propane or natural gas. And there are at least a couple of companies that make these. One is called Crystal Cold of Arcola, Illinois. And the other one is Easy Freeze, based in Shipshewana, Indiana. You've got a freezer, you've got a standard refrigerator. Some of them resemble kind of old style refrigerators that you might have seen in the 1980s, let's say. This is a more progressive solution, but a lot of Amish use it. Secondly, a lot of Amish rely on ice for their cooling. And how do they get the ice? Well, a couple of different ways. Some harvest the ice, especially if they live in colder climates where you have lakes and ponds that freeze over. The Amish will get together and have a sort of a day where they harvest ice as a group. They use circular saws to cut the ice, and they've got picks to retrieve it from the water, and then haul it away using horsepower. So the Amish will put these in specially constructed ice houses. The ice house can be used to keep food cool year round. You can have ice that lasts even longer than a year or two from one harvest. These are thickly insulated structures, often styrofoam insulation. Some Amish will use like an ice box, which could actually be just like an old freezer. Some Amish simply have a refrigerator that doesn't have any power source, but they just use it for its insulation, and they'll put the ice inside the refrigerator. Some Amish may use an old-fashioned ice box. So you're going to see this in plainer communities. Now, some Amish don't harvest their ice, but rather they purchase it. In communities like Geauga County, Ohio, or Allen County, Indiana, you will find ice vending machines throughout the community. You may have the Iceman delivering ice in some communities as well. So these ice machines, you just simply take the ice and leave your money. So besides ice and refrigerators, a third way Amish keep food cool is simply using the basement. You're not going to, of course, achieve the same level of coldness in a basement as you will with the refrigerator or ice. But of course, it's a great place to store your canned goods and things that need to be kept a little bit cooler. So Amish make good use of their basements. You're often going to see basements pretty well stocked in Amish homes. There are some other ways Amish keep food cool. Some Amish may have a cold spring on their property that they use for food cooling. You may have something like a cold pantry. I've seen this where the pantry room has a window. So you open the window, and especially in the cooler months, that lets the cold air in, keeps things cooler. Some Amish may use simply coolers to keep their food cool. You may actually rely on help from non-Amish neighbors in some cases. One of my friends in northern Indiana has provided freezer space on his property for several Amish families. Those are run off of standard electricity, but it's permitted in that district. And at least in that church, that's seen as okay. All right, some other Amish would not permit that. The idea there being that it's only for limited use, specific purpose, and it's not on the Amish family's properties. So Amish keep food cool in a number of ways. Again, it's typically going to depend on the specific church or community and what's permitted in that church's ordinum, which is the rules and standards of the church. Different Amish churches come to different arrangements on that. So if you like this video, hit the like button. I appreciate that. Thanks for watching. Talk to you next time.